Good morning. How do I see you? You must have observed that while I was sitting there, I was looking into your eyes. I was trying to assess, like a farmer, what type of seeds I should throw so that crop grows well. I also imagine emotionally sitting somewhere like you here, trying to get into a course and then doing the best. I hope your resolutions now will remain forever. I'm going to tell you nothing from administration. I'll tell you something on a topic which is of relevance to this course. Of course, my approach will be global and quite technical. Technical in a different sense. While you may be an expert in your limited area of operations, mainly computer applications, my technical field is econometrics, economic history, economic sciences. Another area which interests me is philosophy. So, it will be a brief talk. You have to just listen to it. But I should tell you one thing. What I will be telling you is not written in any book. So if you think that you may miss it and nothing ultimately will happen, catch on somewhere through Wikipedia or internet, that will not happen because these thoughts are my original thoughts. I have written books. The latest one is coming out from New York and London on 1st of December. What is the topic, friends? The topic is adoption of technologies, plural, for business growth. So the main topic is business growth. To do business properly, socially, and well, how we can adopt technologies which are before us. While there can be a history of technology, we will not go into it. We will go into the post-2008 scenario. Well, you may be surprised, why 2008? If we talk of 21st century, it should be from the chronological date, 2001 onwards, even 2000. Why 2008? What happened from the angle of finance and technology? In 2008, a particular year, by the strength of which we can call it an era. There is a difference between a period and an era. Era is more revolutionary. So, what happened in 2008? Friends, some of you know, and if you think a bit more, you will know two things happened. Global financial crisis surfaced in 2008. And then the way finances went ahead, the way countries moved, the way economics behaved, changed. And it changed so much that not only economic growth, but also method of thinking, economic theory underwent a change. What I have said so far, even if if you have not understood properly, is this, that in the year 2008, global financial crisis had an impact on economic theory, not macroeconomic theory, not microeconomic theory, not investment theory, not business promotion theories, but whole thinking on economic philosophy and approaches. So friends, if you do not understand the importance of 2008 in terms of finance and economics and the way of thinking, you will be missing almost everything. Because the old is dead in economic theory. 2008 onwards till now, things have changed, and I will be telling something about that. In the language of philosophy, we say this: in 2008, economic theory had an epistemological change. What is epistemology? Epistemology is knowing important things, knowing the reality, knowing working methods. So if you do not understand what happened since 2008 till today in economic theory, epistemology of economic thinking, you will be missing quite a lot. And these things are not available in the book. Second, again the same question. Why is 2008 important and it's called an era, not just a period? It's because technology also changed. Technology first came with blockchain. In the year 2008 precisely, a pseudonymous paper came. It was 18 pages only, which ushered in what people have called, like Tuck Scott, they have called blockchain revolution. So we must know the revolution which blockchain technology made. But blockchain was not the only thing. Some of you start looking at me, don't look here and there. I see some guys crossing, moving. That's not good. If you want to introduce, if you want a singer to sing well, you must be attentive. That's how performances go higher. So look at my eye, only 40 minutes. So 2008, I was saying, blockchain revolution. But blockchain revolution is only part of the tech story. There is the fourth industrial revolution, of which blockchain is a part. And we must know something about the blockchain technology. Once we have known about the importance of 2008 era, post-2008 era, in terms of technological revolution, fourth industrial revolution, and economic theory thinking, our task will become easy. I come to the second part of my talk. Yes. Time is limited, so I'll mention some reading list, because there is no substitute to reading. Not very many books, at least 5-6 books. Because if when you go abroad, it will be presumed that you know this. And if you appear in some interview, and if you mention something out of the reading which I have suggested, it will help you greatly. It will also help you greatly to think. What is the fourth industrial revolution? Now, that idea is known. There are 3 revolutions idea, and the fourth one is now. The best book on the fourth industrial revolution is titled the same, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. It is written by a scientist who is the founder of the World Economic Forum. Anybody who reads newspaper understand what World Economic Forum is. Klaus Schwab, K-L-U-S-S-C-H-O-W-B, pronounced as Schwab in German. But don't remember these things. Remember, you must read a book called The Fourth Industrial Revolution. It costs less than 400 rupees. It should be available in any library. Hopefully it's here. And you must be, when you read this, you will find not only the views of this particular scholar. No, he is a founder. It is the thinking of 166 countries who have thought over the fourth industrial revolution. I tried to formulate an agenda in the World Economic Forum on the technologies which are important for this age, post-2008. How many are there? 16 have been identified. So in one sentence we can say the fourth industrial revolution is conceptually important because it talks of 16 technologies, not only relating to material sciences and computers, but even biotech and geosciences, that type of approach it has. So should you not know which are the 16 technologies and how since 2008 till 2015 when the book was written, something happened which needs to be understood. More important, it is not just a list of technologies, it is a list of philosophy behind these technologies and approaches which have to be made on that. So friends, don't miss this book. Read it, discuss it. You will have very little scope to disagree with it because it's all factual. But it will set you to think in different lines. You will develop cross-disciplinary studies and see how the world is facing this. Our ministers and journalists and some academicians copy that and make a big impression. But the fact remains, it is all a plan in action. Action is still going on. World Economic Forum has 4 clusters in the world, and you know one of them is in India. So 16 tasks have been grouped in 4 units. One is in Germany, another is in Japan, and the third one is USA, and one is in Mumbai. So thinking goes on. So you must know something about it. I will stop here. My first point is covered, conceptualizing the fourth industrial revolution. I wish that you know much more than me, because this is the bread and butter you are going to eat to survive, to excel, and to lead. Second, we all talk of technology, very popular, without understanding the meaning of technology in society. We all know, if you pick up any dictionary of Oxford or Cambridge, it will give you a meaning of difference between science and technology and what technology is. Technology is the adoption part of the story. But there is a theory called, in economics, sociology, called technological determinism. I am using negative dialectics to bring a point. People say, even now, ask anybody from the industry, from the manufacturing of computer sciences or anything, they will say, let the technology come, other things will adjust. No, sir, this is not going to happen. It has to be a cohesive approach. We walk on 2 legs, we don't limp on one unless we are forced to, by God, to do that. So we have to walk on 2 legs. So technology does not determine human future. It's an assistive device It's a force to reckon with. That is important. So this whole propaganda started by some scholars in 60s and 70s that things will improve. No. Technologies, I said very soon, can be disruptive. Now I'm coming to the next point. You must know before tomorrow what destructive innovation is. They call it properly disruptive. It is not destructive in the sense of an atom bomb falling somewhere. It disrupts. It disrupts violently. It's like a tectonic shift. Plate shifts and everything collapses. The best person who ever thought on technology till now is Joseph Schumpeter. And he has a theory of disruptive innovation. Schumpeter was one of the four great minds of economics. Adam Smith, Keynes, Marx, Schumpeter. What is disruptive is capitalism is linked with it. Capitalism has many evils, but it has one quality. It is innovative. Innovation gives birth to needs and generation, improves productivity, gives livelihood a better chance. It is an emancipatory phase of life. But capitalism has a limitation also. It is fragile by nature. So you will have, if you see the economic trend, financial trends, there will be crisis and crisis and crisis. Those who know economics well also know that the global financial crisis did not only come in 2008, it came in 2029, it was worse because we were more unprepared then. And if you really go into details, these disruptions keep on happening. So what is the point for you, your generation? You must realize that financial crises of various magnitudes shall happen. So when I come to the main point, adopting technologies, I am conscious that it is the liberating force, the technology, the new technology, but I also know that it will disrupt, old methods will not work. I'm not talking about the applications part generally, and then we should be prepared for it. Now the reading list. I talked about Claude Shaw, I talked about Schumpeter. Now Schumpeter is not a big thing, he wrote very little. He has a book called Capitalism, Socialism and Democracy. It is a 500-page book, briefly put, available everywhere. But it has only one chapter on technological creative disruption. Any summary you want to find, you can find, but easiest thing to read those 10 pages, 12, I remember now, 12 pages only, short size 12 pages, which talks of creative disruption in something. So I told that Schumpeter, Joseph Schumpeter, a great mind, did not write much. One person wrote, and he was a technocrat like you. His name, he was a professor of Harvard Business School, and people say, even after he is dead, he died in 2020 to cancer, sad death. He is the sharpest mind in the 21st century, earlier part, 2 decades if you see. In all fields if you take sharp, but his name you must remember, must know if you are doing the management more so, is called Clayton and Christensen. Clayton and Christensen. Even if you don't remember the book's, the author's name, it's a little tough. Look at his 3 books he wrote. And they're all management books dealing with technology. He had a theory of disruption, disruptive innovation. He studied companies. These books were written in 1997, 1988, and later he wrote a book called The DNA of Innovation. These books are all from Harvard Business School. So type out book column, DNA of Innovation, the of course has to be added. You will get that book. What did he say? I must summarize for you in 3-4 sentences. He studied, and when Harvard studies, it is not one person studying. It is a group of people globally studying with proper sample surveys. He tried to find out how is it that money doesn't play much in technological innovation. He studied big companies, all the big companies whose name you have seen. It's all given. And then found the big ones spent a lot of money, had brilliant minds, but innovation didn't work. So the topic is adaptation of technologies. Answer is nil, nothing. It doesn't mean that all big did not work. Some big did. But so money is not the factor. Then what is the factor? How have you more divisions and so on? 5 characteristics are there. The book called DNA of Innovation by Christensen talked of 5 traits. And these 5 traits basically show, it's all listed, so I will not waste time in summarizing it. These are the things which you all have. This quality you should have, and some are institutional qualities, some are personal motivational qualities. So Christensen's theory of DNA of innovation has to be read. It has to be read, reread, it has full of case studies and discussed, more important. And it is called a theory. Theory means it is accepted by most and is being followed, given up. Nobody has said that you were wrong. So many years have gone by. Again, if you go in a higher circle of knowledge, they will expect you to know. Next point is adopting technology. This is my topic. All right. There are certain favorable things institutionally and personally. There are some ideas. Changes are there. How do I adopt it in an industry, any industry? For that, you have to go to old guy, Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker wrote many things. We all know, we have grown by it. Anybody who does MBA knows. Even if he doesn't, he writes very well, so it's understood. His concept of technology at the workplace. Because 2 things happen, friend, and it is going to happen in your lifetime. Your jobs will be fragile. Because technology, the 4th industrial revolution technology, disrupts heavily. It just comes up and throws new methods, new work practices, new team behavior, new attitudes towards leadership. Not only that, even in financial management, it leads to new concepts of costing, new concept of accounting, and new concept of asset evaluation. These are technical things which we all know. These things are. Now, why I call 2008 and era is because not only in economic theory, but also in importance of adoption technology at the workplace improved. One thing which has happened, plus point, heavy plus point, since 2008 and today, first of all, the global financial crisis gave us a better accounting method, better asset evaluation method. There is no time to deal with each of the topics. Definitely, better auditing. And with blockchain coming in, auditing has seen a new state. And if you see the insurance sector, particularly contract management, fraud detection, these things are happening very, very well. Short point, therefore, it is an epistemological thing, knowing things, learning things, even for workplace. The workplace in 1998 would be much different, even if you take a photograph as compared to any place in Germany, for example, or today. It will all look different. People organize different. If you go to Google office, I've been so many times there at headquarters. Oracle, their methods of working are there. Friends, about a fortnight ago, I gave a talk to CFOs of IT sectors in Mumbai. It's a big show, keynote address. And later on, they also spoke. And they told how in their companies they adopted new methods of accounting, asset management, and reporting. So, you must be aware of the importance of 2008 in terms of the financial management as well. Next point is post-2008 entrepreneurship trends. Who is an entrepreneur is well known. Which is the best scholar on entrepreneurship till today? If that question is asked in an interview, you must give a reasonable answer. He is Baumol, B-A-M-A-U-L. He's an economist, he's no more. But he wrote maximum on that. But the article which he wrote in Journal of Political Economy in 1991, later part of his age, is marvelous. It has to be read. It is on internet. William J. Baumol. His title was, and you will force me to think even now without reading the article, Entrepreneurship, Creative, Innovative, and Destructive. Now I'll come to the darker side of the web and talk to you of finance and talk to you about the darker side of entrepreneurship. Friends, there are two rules, and there is no door between these two rules. One is the dark side of knowledge development, which is fast, efficient, and toxic. I'll give examples. These are, and another, emancipatory, liberating, and creative. We all know about the creative side of entrepreneurship, so I need not develop about it. But Baumol's article, The Great Mind, talk about the darker side. This is the threat. What are these? Simple. Cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology till 2015 had a craze for money making, illicit money making. Even now, G20 countries, when they meet, they discuss, yesterday, day before yesterday, they came out with a statement saying that we will regulate, and it's possible to regulate blockchain. Because the method was spread that decentralized system cannot be regulated. And scholars after scholars of millions, not a great scholar, no economic giant has ever told that blockchain, cryptocurrency is good. First of all, it's not a currency. And second, crypto method is good, but dark side of the web consists of dealings in about which FATS, Financial Asset Task Force, is concerned globally. Terror financing, illicit criminal activities, cheating, fraud. Cybersecurity experts will tell you about which institutions like CERT have been created in India. There are massive frauds which go on happening, all types of fraud, surveillance, political or otherwise, social. These are the aspects of bad entrepreneurship. So before you become a good entrepreneur or an employee of a good entrepreneur, also see whether you are joining an organization which is a part of the bad faith, because often as experts of a limited scope, you do not know whom you are joining, like CIA once upon a time, KTB. Scholars didn't know that because funding was coming from there. Again, basic point is, try to read the article this person wrote, Baumol, B-A-M-A-U-L. His name is well known, he's the biggest thinker he was. So, I try to know the dark side of it. And if you are still interested, there is always a report of Financial Asset Task Force, FATF. Every engineering student or MCA student should be aware of the website at least. Search yourself. What is happening globally? And they're giving you solutions. It's not a police bulletin. It's giving solutions. So, you must. Now, and also blockchain is an issue, ethical issue. Creative users are also there, how to do it. Technovation is a word. I have written articles on that. If you search my name, you will find a number of articles. I keep on speaking every 20 days, some topic or the other, average. Or I will YouTube. So Amitabh Rajan, if you type it, this my book is also coming. Technovation is common sense, technique plus innovation, but that's not the meaning which I want to emphasize. I have at least given the thought that technovation has to be seen in political economy concept, not just economics, of course economics, but otherwise, and then you have to see innovation in the whole thing. So even if you have forgotten or you're uninterested in the whole topic, if you can forget everything, remember one, that I must study. This is a key message of slide 1. I must know what technovation post-2008 means, and I must know that technology has to be seen in political economic scenario framework. What is political economy? Those who are not aware, 3 subjects: economics, law, and political behavior and political science, policy making. Why economics? Of course, everything depends on that, money. Assets. Why law? Because if you have rotten laws, and most countries have, technological laws are very foolish. And the judgments of technology by courts also are not worth anything. They're sincere, but they have not delivered anything. India tried a judgment on blockchain technology. It ultimately said government should look into it. So what was the use of the order if government and government again has not understood? So short form, technovation has a political economic issue. Another thing I have highlighted here, that blockchain is an ethical issue also. So there is a dark side of the whole thing. Friends, we talked about the world, we talked about the economic theory, technological theory. Let's come down to India. Next slide. And then there will be something else, what is to be done, and then I. It is usual SWOT analysis, nothing vague, SWOT. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threat. And one thing I have also added, firm level issues, because global issues, national issues have been discussed. What exactly do we do in the firms which we are going to join? You know, there are various institutions, in economics we call them firms. So, firms is everything. Microeconomics is basically firm level thing. But in India, there is a problem. There are ill-wishers of India and there are well-wishers of India. Well-wishers are very enthusiastic and ill-wishers are equally disruptive. Now, in the field of technology, particularly, and finance, I'll quickly go through it. It's easy. What are our strengths? The Ministry of Science and Technology will tell you, no, don't go by propaganda. The strength of India in the field of technology is in you. Whenever I go abroad, and I do go many times, people ask me one question ultimately, and the question is, how is India doing? It's a double meaning question. If they want to oppose India, your concept. They don't feel praise about India because some powers are dismantling. They don't believe that. But even then, my answer is different. I gave an answer recently in Brussels saying, India is doing well. India is doing well, I said. I talk about technology. But India doing well does not necessarily mean that the governments of India are doing well. By governments, we mean state governments also. India doing well today means that equality of opportunity has worked, the merit system has worked by and large. And younger generation, born after what we call millennium children, they are combative, adjusting, and co-creative. Despite numerous hardships, the entrepreneurship quality is not only in jobs, is very, very high. I mean, I feel it whenever I go. Only problem is that the curriculum, I know as a chairman of the State Bank Services Board, interviews, various types of interviews, all levels of interviews, you find that learning methods are very bad. So, in management, what they do, they take out a book called Paulson Wilson, great man, Nobel laureate, but Indian edition will have some Calcutta professor or Bangalore professor writing a footnote, Paulson Wilson, adding it in a company law context. Management books again the same thing, classics are there, but still some paragraphs are added for Amani, Adani, whatever. And something important choice is mentioned. There is a substandard main text, or high standard main text and substandard. This type of hybrid doesn't work in the world. I'm sure. What it doesn't mean America only, what it means Germany, what it means Japan, what it means many countries like Lebanon. You go there in Google or Seattle or wherever, and you find how children are doing, global children are doing well everywhere, but the level is very high. They all have read Christians and they all have read Torah. They have not only read, they have discussed. So short point is the strength of India is youth. But youth has to be nurtured through institutional fittings which will equip them to think deeper. Anyway, what the governments will do is different. What I'm trying to say, you should not, wherever you are at a good place. I am associated with I.T.S. It's doing the best. I am in St. Voices also, other places of excellence. But basically, it's a good place. Think properly, your teachers are very good. And therefore, maximize opportunity. In economic theory, the word is opportunity maximization. a farmer in Jhabua district of Madhya Pradesh, least littered district, rushes when monsoon days come. There are very few days of monsoon, and sowing, preparation of soil takes place in a shortest possible period. So resources are just similarly these 2 years which you are going to spend, earlier it was 3, now it's cut down to 2, no problem. You must utilize every minute, because at the end of the course you will require those who are at the top are coming out with a very hopeless way, and those who are supposed to be lower do well. It happens in the IAS, the first list when they join, and the ultimate list, which is secretaries in parliament, there's a topsy-turvy lot of things, because these years matter, not the initial year which matter. So, I've often mentioned. So, but there are other technical points also, which you must know, that in banking area, payments area, there has been a revolution and it has been recognized globally. What is the weakness of India's political economy? Well, when I say political economy, I mean, as I told you, politics, this political system, political behavior, policy sciences, and law, because law governs everything, quality of law is important, and ultimately finance. Weaknesses are 3. One weakness is that you have a hopeless act system. If you take the IT Act, you must do a case study of India's IT Act. Okay? Not one, but 2 or 3 acts. Go through the quality of it, and as a sincere student, you will very soon discover, along with your teachers, that there is a gap between the intent and the effect. I'll give you an example. Cyber fraud. We have written everything which, there can be a compilation method. You study other laws, make a summary of the best practices, and ultimately record it in a legal language. But ultimately, law is discourse. Law should keep changing. IT changes, so why shouldn't IT law also change? What care IT law has taken of the blockchain regulation? Nothing. European Union or journalists or jurists, on the other hand, I interact with them, they have come up with better solutions. So legislative drafting has to be faster, quicker, and better. That's important. Not only this, our corporate laws are good. Our Companies Act 2013 is the best in the world with all these amendments. No doubt about it. It's another sign of strength. But again, see how much time tribunal justice takes place. When you have a regulator, you must have a regulator everywhere. But a regulator decision go in appeal. I'm talking of telecom, I'm talking of other areas of regulation, not RBI. They go in appeal. And when they go in appeal, the appellate system has people who know nothing. They are judges and bureaucrats. There is a limit to common sense, isn't it? Even if you are most enriching person, common sense wise, technical knowledge is required and the implication of technology is required. So one of the improvement in laws is very, very important. And the rate of justice, gap between law and justice, is quite high here, because you file a case and then activity stops and then nothing happens. Quite static. Bankruptcy code, I'm in government committee on stressed assets, and I see how IBC doesn't function. So all these things, serious frauds, again these laws are important. So legal problems in the field of IT is an important constraint for India. What are the opportunities? I will not waste time. Everybody knows what are the opportunities for India. Its adaptation is very, very high. Entrepreneurial level of startups and so on, very, very rugged. And by and large, the share markets are doing reasonably well. What are the threats of India's political economy? The enemies. India, as you know, is at a particular rank in global development. GDP of India is high, is getting higher. So, yesterday Germany, today England and other countries, they are not happy with your growth. They are not convinced. It's like somebody from the tribal area becoming UN Secretary General. It cannot be digested. Inferiority complex is there. So what they are doing in the field of computers, I.T.S, they are aiding to hack, aiding to disrupt, and aiding to, like the big nine in the world of computer sciences, manufacturing-wise, size-wise, they have ganged up, and all the data, somehow, the monopoly of data, acquisition of data, transmission later on, selective, this is data sciences is a problem, and it's the essence as well. Other threats are there. It may be not in, when I talk of adoption of technology, just doesn't mean IT. It may happen in biosciences. It may happen in areas like materials management. These things are crucial elements like zinc, copper, and some other material like uranium. These are areas where there can be a threat. Space sciences, defense particularly, is an area of concern. Now, let's talk about your immediate future. You will be joining some firm. Maybe you will be setting up firms yourself. What will happen? That has a very good prospect, and with whatever you do. I'll spend 5 minutes in the third slide and then end, because with so much of background, I'll give you only the key points. What can be done? The usual question is, all right, criticism, analysis, but what should we do? And here we doesn't mean India only, all over the world, but particularly India. There is a concept of, in political science, which is called rule of law efficacy. What is rule of law? Understood. What is efficacy? I will give you an example and it will make it clear. A person wants to, has an option, multinational has an option to work in China or work in India. Today, he does not want to work in China because policies there, even if there is efficiency and all that, are not stable. They change. And reversal to the policy is almost impossible. Impartial law and order machinery, justice system machinery is just not there in China. In India, it takes time, but people think it's better. So investment climate is created more, and all this technology you can't create in your hometown, so it will all come from abroad. And when they globally determine, there can be, and the scholars have studied that. There are indicators of efficiency in rule of law. You see internet, you will find. Another thing is private sector versus public sector. That myth has to be exploded. Please read the book called simply The Entrepreneurial State. It is about 300-page book, small size, written by an Italian economist of very high level of repute. which says that difference between private sector, public sector in technology has no relevance. The state as a whole has to be entrepreneurial, and she gave an example of US, where basic research in technology was done through government and is still being done by the government. So government has a role. Time is not here. I'll just indicate, please read the book called The Entrepreneurial State, and you will benefit. Well, third point I've already made. Laws are laws, many, any law, but unless they are discursive, there will be no use. Why are Indian laws weak, particularly in technology, company affairs fine? Because discussions don't take place. If you think that a journalist like me can comment on blockchain technology, digital currency is a different matter, that I know. It's not expected. First of all, my generation, it all came in 2008. One. Second is, even if I'm involved, you have to involve global people, not just you, because the law is of your country, it doesn't mean anything. So my first advice to government, and luckily government is listening to me, is to be in touch with the European Union of jurists who are doing work on blockchain regulation. Earlier it was said not possible. Possible. So, and they are doing that through G20. So this discourse is the ethic. Anyway, regulation. Global financial crisis had told us one thing, that neoliberal propaganda, you must know what is neoliberalism. You should not go out of this college or institution without having a critique of neoliberal philosophy on technology and science. There was a person called von Hayek. Hayek got Nobel Prize in Economics in 1974. He believed that state is a problem. The state should just not be there. By state he meant security, regulation, policing, it's all right, he says. But in economic matters, markets is important. Market is creative, market will do everything. So leave state from there. And regulation, whether it's a regulator or a state, which regulates, shouldn't be there. And some people believed in it. Until during Margaret Thatcher and other places, in America also, before 2008, between 1970 and till global financial crisis, all believed regulation should be little. India didn't believe in that, we benefited. So regulation is needed, that's what the economic theory says now. And if you go by the Cornwall consensus, there are two consensuses in the world. Washington consensus, which say the regulation of industries, markets is wrong. And there is a Cornwall consensus of 2021, which says it is essential. So post 2008, 2021 global consensus, is Cornwall is a place in England, and consensus, all G7 met together, G20 also approved, they came to certain principles of economic thinking. And any person here should not be worth his or her mind unless she has not gone through the 3 or 4 pages of Cornwall consensus. Please go through it. Cornwall consensus. What is it? It's a global consensus of the best mind in the world. And remember, these things are not done in a few meetings. They prepare years and years and ultimately debate and then moderate the language. So Cornwall consensus say, but regulation can also be a bad thing when it is captured by industries or when it is inconsistent, it puts a burden on industries and firms. Compliance in the name of environment can be there, but cost efficacy also has to be seen. You should do nothing with the balance sheets are totally blown off by your decisions. Now, what are the contents of coherent regulation? That is the issue. And scholars have written it. My book also deals with a chapter on coherence. What is coherence in regulations? That is and ultimately, finally, sir and madam, is the question of ethics. We are within institutions the most unethical breed. Please mind my words. It's a line of Krishna and Shankaracharya and Buddha. But within institutions, we agree to everything. And if somebody doesn't agree, in whichever sphere, I'm speaking for a long experience, for more than 45 years of experience, all types. The group dynamics withdraws. So you will have a problem, particularly in team management. Suppose you are supposed to draft a blockchain contract system. You will be doing coding, which is very important. Blockchain technology complex. Another person will be the person who will know the content of it. If it is a contract, there are legal repercussions, there are other things. So legislative drafting is an art. So ultimately, contract law doing person should also be there too. And won't be there a high finance person, because ultimately these two are going to have impact on the company's revenue stream. Now when the three great minds of equal caliber sit, ego comes in. The whole Buddhist philosophy starts with the submergence of ego, Bhagavad Gita included, and Shankaracharya more so, Advaita. But even then, the children of these great men are, in practice, don't do it. And the proof is, see the board of directors behaving in a funny way of good institutions, IAS, for example. Co-location scam in SEBI. SEBI is a good institution. Yes, bank is a good institution, bank. ICICI is excellent. All aspects. But wasn't there a black sheep? And wasn't it that nobody ever? How is it possible that a co-location scam takes place in SEBI control room and nobody knows about it? And so, there can be some adjustment, is withdrawing your privileges was all right. But if it is or not getting promoted, not getting posted where you want to be posted, but how can it be against society as a whole? So ethics and governance is a problem. And here government doesn't mean governance only. It means NGO governance, corporate governance, and governance of academic issues as well.